Hey, what's going on, folks? This is another episode of Just My Opinion with Ryan. I want to appreciate and thank you all for seeing another episode. We're getting into it. We're going to keep rocking, keep rocking. So thank you for rocking out with me. If this is your first time finding this channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. I would truly appreciate it. And let's just get into it, man. Snowfall came out last night. Kind of a weird episode. I feel like this is probably my least favorite episode so far of this season. I just feel like this is one of those like filler episodes. It's just an episode that's kind of put out there just to help the story move along from, point A to point B or point B to C. You get my point. And the reason why I say it was a filler episode, I mean, this has still been like this streak of like randomness going on with Snowfall. You got the taxidermy guy in the middle of the hood who has a tiger in his backyard and all that type of stuff. Now you got this beautiful wedding and everyone is tripping off of LSD thanks to Skully. So, I don't know, I feel like this one was quite random. Once again, definitely my least favorite episode. Once again, just an episode just to get from point A to point B. Towards the end of the LSD wedding episode, you kind of see where the story is going. But prior to that, it was kind of like, let's just fill up some time, or let's just throw an episode out there, once again, a filler, just to get things moving. But we will, point out some highlights of this episode. One thing I did not like, I'm still with it, man. Every episode is like, I trust Veronique less and less, man. Like, and you don't have to be a gang member or a drug dealer or in the streets to understand this type of logic, but it's like, if I'm beefing with said person, I don't need you, going behind my back and talking to said person about whatever. I don't need you to kick it with them, none of that type of stuff. That just seems like a basic rule. So she gets more and more shady as things go along. So I'm thinking that this is gonna bite Franklin somehow, some way. I mean, granted, she tried to come through all innocent, talking about, hey, I'm Franklin's ex-girlfriend. I'm carrying his baby. I got shot at when when your guys hit up the little store. Will me and my baby be safe? I feel like that was kind of cold to be like, hey, will you protect me? Instead of going to Franklin, she's going to Kane for protection. That's how I looked at it. And Kane's trying to play it all innocent, like, hey man, we playing nice. Me and Frank was cool. We got it. We made a deal. But I feel like there's more to it. I don't think her asking if her and her baby are going to be okay was as innocent as she tried to make it sound. She got something up her sleeves, man. She already got the background with being a con man or scamming, with her mom. So that's just that. That something else is going down with that. That's just plain as day. As I mentioned, of course, everyone was tripping the majority of the episode. Just complete randomness, man. You got Leon, talking to his ex, and she's the only one not on LSD because she's allergic to chocolate. He wants to take her to Africa, like it's a belly movie. So that was random. But other than the key part of Veronique, really the only other part that really, two other parts that really stood out with me through, from this random episode, this LSD episode. One, I feel like Sissy definitely almost damn near blew her cover. I feel like, that LSD is making people, look at their truths. So she feels like maybe she's made a mistake when trying to team up with this, other convert, miscellaneous organization, who claims that they want to get Teddy. But it seems like more so they want to get Franklin too. You got the CIA agent who we haven't seen since the early seasons. He's back at it recording conversations from the damn van. So that's looking shady. But Sissy almost blew her damn cover. She almost got in a full blown fight with the undercover CIA agent who's posing as a waiter. Of course, the the pivotal moment in the thing, which I thought was maybe the second most important scene, in my opinion, was when Leon had a full conversation with himself. It was, about present day Leon talking to past Leon. I thought that was very dope. I thought that was a great performance of him arguing with himself like that, with the two separate people. The old Franklin's like, oh yeah, you got bodies and bodies and bodies and this and the third, you killing people now. And then he's trying to defend it, but I take care of my people. We got money, this and the third. The reason why I thought that scene was so awesome was because if you remember, of course it sounds like an oxymoron, but he kind of wanted to be, he had good intentions as a drug dealer. And what I mean by that is, he just wanted to go in there, sell a little bit of rock and just, get his family out the hood. He didn't factor in the fact that he may have to start killing people. He didn't factor in that he has to start maybe screwing people over, like the old couple with the library. He didn't factor in any of that stuff. And so it's almost like going into something with good intentions, but the more you go down that rabbit hole, you realize I gotta be a savage in order just to be successful in this particular game I'm in, and that's what happened. It reminds me of like I said, I don't think all cops are bad, right? But I do think that there are certain cops or certain people who had good intentions initially of becoming a cop. And who knows, maybe years of being underpaid and being in dangerous situations, they start to look the other way when certain crimes is going on. They start to take that money under the table. They start to just, over time, gradually just become corrupted. And I feel like the same happened to Franklin. Granted, there's nothing wholesome about, selling drugs in the first place. But I do feel like he initially had intentions, look, I want to get in this game, make some money. And then, me and my crew, me and my family just going to get out the hood and just have a better situation. But as you can see, we're at where we're at right now. Because if you remember, like those early seasons, it was a struggle for Franklin to catch his first body. But he almost had no choice. Like it was like he wasn't built for this life at first. Like it was a struggle for him in that drug dealer life. And I feel like, I think it was season 2, maybe 3. I feel like that one episode when I think there was somebody in his crew who may have been stealing or they did something kind of underhanded, and Franklin killed him, like shot him in the head in front of the other workers, and he made that guy an example. And it's almost like, that's when the flip was switched in his head, and he became the ruthless Franklin that we know now. So I really felt like that's why that scene was so pivotal. It was almost him having a battle within himself about what he initially wanted to do when he got into selling drugs to what he's become now. Yes, he has all these millions of dollars, but look at the type of bodies he had to take in order to get there. Even Manboy, even though that was like a robbery thing, Manboy, some of the people in Manboy's crew, homeboy that he killed in the first episode in season 5. That was his friend from school. But because he was a drug addict, his friend had to go. So he just, yes, he's successful. His family's rich. They got this decked out wedding. But once again, the reason why he's battling within himself, he's like, damn, look at all the, monstrous things I had to do to get to this point. And that wasn't the initial, point of Franklin in the first place. And I think that's the lesson. It's like, in order to be successful in a game like drug dealing and stuff like that, you can't go in there thinking you're going to sell a few rocks until you get out the hood and then just be done with it. It's way more complicated than that, and that's why we're seeing Franklin battling with himself. And I really enjoyed how the last scene, once again, this is why it's a filler episode in my opinion, that last scene really set up how things are going to go down the following episode. He's having he cut in to dance with Louie. They're trying to talk business. Franklin's trying to talk Louie into, it's not too late. We can still be a unit. This and that. He's still trying to convince Louie that they don't have, that Louie and Franklin Louie and Jerome don't have to go their own way. They could still make this work as one whole unit. But Louie is like, nah, it's too late. Me and Jerome gonna do our own thing, and that's just it. It's too late for that. And I thought it was very weird. Like, this is your aunt by marriage, and so to have Louie kiss Franklin in the mouth. Granted, it wasn't any tongue. It was still weird. It was like this slow, sensual peck. So I thought that was weird. But you see things are getting moving in the next episode. You see the crooked cop and his crew. Looks as if they got the drop on Kane and they're about to run down on Kane, and that's how the episode leaves it. So I know it's a short review, but I really feel like this was a filler episode just to get things cracking in the next episode. Apparently, this crooked cop and some of his fellas are going to try to get the drop on Kane, and I'm sure that's really going to stir up some stuff. And yeah, it's there's only I think 2 more episodes left. There's next week's episode, and then I think after that we'll have the finale. So, time flies when you're having fun, and this is coming to a close within the next 2 weeks. But nevertheless, that's just my opinion. Overall, I think this was a filler episode with just a few key parts that you really needed to pay attention to. Him battling with himself, Louie putting things into motion, and Veronique playing both sides of the fence now. In cahoots with Kane, but still, rolling around with Franklin. So that's what I took from it. Love it or hate it, that's just my opinion. Peace.